There you go.
Crackhead version of Anteater. What the hell?
What the fuck?
Oh god.
God damn it. I swear to God, he's a fucking mouse, though.
He's not a mouse.
I swear to God, Arthur is a mouse. Boy, he looks like
Okay,
he's
this
got the
sound
fucking
just
mouse
scared the shit
ears.
out of me. Hey, it's me, Steve. Have you seen Blue?
Blue is a girl. Honestly, though.
Yeah.
But it's Blue's Clues. There's not gonna be tits. It's a fucking children's show.
Hi, Steve.
Actually, I'm gonna Google that
Oh
right
my
now.
god, you all are gonna hate me for this.
Blue's Clues fanfiction.
Oh god, don't. No.
I don't know what you mean.
You all are gonna.
Search up
You're all
Blue's
gonna hate me
Clues
for this.
fanfiction.
Let me check on that.
Anyone know what
Okay.
this is?
Pokemon.
Oh god. Can't believe I'm doing this. Time for Teletubbies. Oh god. I don't know.
Okay, I'm gonna read this. The sun was setting at Steve's house. Steve and Blue had just finished another game of Blue's Clues. Blue was happy that Steve was able to solve one of her little mysteries. But while he did enjoy playing Blue's Clues with his canine companion, Steve was a little sad now that the game was over. You see, when not playing Blue's Clues, Steve often thought about his life. It had been a while since he saw another person, and to add to that, Blue was the closest companion of his that was female. It wouldn't work out, because she was, of course, a dog. He sighed as he sat in his thinking chair, tickety talk on the side table. Decided to give Steve some space. Blue watched all this in sadness. She wasn't oblivious to the fact that her good friend was lonely and needed a woman in his life. Steve did have a girlfriend at one point, but it obviously did not work out. She had thought of filling up this hole in Steve's heart herself, but she knew darn well that, as a cliche it sounds, she was a dog and he was a human. It would never work. And even if she wanted it so badly, she didn't know how she could turn into one. She doubted Blue's Clues could help her figure this out, since it was really just a game that she had Steve play instead of telling him directly what she wanted to do on a particular day, or something like that. It wasn't made for sorting out life's big problems, like which direction one should take in life or figuring out how to live one's life. Sighing herself, she went over to Steve, got on his lap, and sat with him in an attempt to comfort him as best she can. Steve smiled at what a good friend Blue was for being there for him. However, it only reminded him of why he was sad in the first place. Blue, Hey! I'm reading. I will fucking kick you. Blue, I appreciate what you're trying to do, but it's not working. He said sadly. Shut up, Albert. I'll kick you too. Feeling quite disappointed, Blue got off Steve's lap and went outside into the backyard. It was dark out now, and the numerous stars were out twinkling in the big black sky. They were beautiful, but Blue couldn't get her mind off of Steve's problem. Shovel and pail left her alone. Even Mailbox kept quiet for a change. This left Blue to think for a bit. Nothing came up. Blue's ears soon caught the noises of Steve calling it a night and going to bed. Blue decided that nothing could be done and started to turn her head back inside. To turn to head back inside. Suddenly she saw a shooting star. This could be what I've been waiting for, she thought. She closed her eyes and made a wish. I wish that I were a human like Steve, she wished in her mind. She opened her eyes and saw that nothing had changed. Really disappointed now, Blue went to bed with Steve. She then lied down in a comfortable position and fell right asleep. Unbeknownst to anyone, Blue started to glow right then and there. From there, the changes began. First, her body elongated until it was like a human female's. Next, her muzzle retreated into her face until it became a human face, while her ears went down to the side of her head, ending as human ears. Her tail disappeared, along with her hair, leaving her with pale skin that was soft like an infant's. Her arms got longer as her paws transformed into human hands. Giving her opposable thumbs, her legs also got longer as her back paws turned into human feet. Her chest swelled until she had small breasts. Finally, brown hair grew from the top of her head until it reached her shoulders. With that, the glowing faded as quickly as it had come. Where Blue once now lied a young girl that looked to be about 12 or 13 years old. When either Steve or Blue wakes up the next morning, she will be in for quite a surprise. Chapter 2. The next morning,
God,
she
how long?
opened his eyes to the sun shining through
Keep
his window.
going. Keep
He
going.
didn't know why, but he felt that today was going to be an interesting day. Might as well wake up Blue, he thought. He turned to where Blue was sleeping, only to be assured where his canine companion should have been was a beautiful, young, naked brunette girl who looked no older than 13.
Oh.
Steve got off the bed and immediately started looking around the room. Blue was nowhere to be seen. There wasn't so much as a paw print on any of the walls. That ruled out Blue's clues. Steve concluded that this is one mystery he'd have to solve on his own. Actually, that was two mysteries, because there was still the mysterious girl in his bed. A small part of him considered the possibility that the girl was Blue, which would solve both mysteries right then and there. But the rational part of him quickly shot it down, because dogs don't turn into humans overnight.
No.
Before Steve could ponder this any further, the girl groaned. She woke up and stretched, much like a canine. She opened her eyes, and Steve found them to be dark blue, the same shade as Blue's. Steve wanted to deny that the girl was blue, but there was now evidence saying that was actually the case. Especially since the girl seemed surprised that she had 5-fingered hands and was now investigating her face. She soon stopped and looked at the spot where Steve had been moments before. Steve? She asked. The name came out rather weakly, surprising Steve even more. It was as if the girl had never spoken before. He may not have been playing a Blue's Clues at the moment, but he had a fair amount of clues at this point. The girl was sleeping right where Blue had been the previous night. She had stretched like a dog. She had Blue's eyes. She didn't seem used to either having hands or talking. She even knew his name. All led to the same conclusion he had been trying to deny for the past few minutes. This girl on his bed was Blue. In human form, of course. He still needed confirmation from the girl herself that she was. In fact, he decided to ask. Blue, Steve said uncertainly, "Is that you?" The girl heard him and looked right at him, then smiled. Then she smiled. I was wondering where you were. Yes,
God,
Steve,
Dominic,
it's me.
Don't say anything about it.
The girl answered, still having some slight trouble speaking. With that, both of the morning's mysteries were solved, but the revelation that Blue had turned into a human girl created another one. How did it happen? Steve walked back to his bed to ask Blue just that. Blue was still sitting on her knees, as she was before. Steve went to sit next to her on the bed and looked her in the eye. Blue, do you know how this happened? Steve asked. Blue's smile grew as considered playing Blue's Clues. But now that she could talk, she decided against it. Even though she could come up with 3 clues to help explain what happened, she didn't want to have Steve wait that long for the answer. So she decided just to tell him. I was out in the backyard last night, just as I was heading back inside. I saw a shooting star. I wish that I were human like you, Steve. I must have transformed in my sleep, Blue explained. That led to another, and probably more important, question that Steve decided to ask. Why? He asked simply. Blue's smile dropped. You know why, Steve, but if you haven't figured it out by now, here's your first clue. Remember when I tried to comfort you last night? She asked. Steve remembered that. He was thinking about his lack of a female companion, one that was human anyway. Blue had gotten on his lap to try and comfort him in his time of sadness. Then it hit him. Blue must have wished herself human in order to fill the hole left by his former girlfriend. It both shocked and touched him that his canine companion would go to such lengths to make him happy again. Blue seemed to see his look of realization because she spoke again. I hope you're not mad at me, Steve. I just wanted to make you happy, she said. Steve turned to her. He was still shocked that Blue would do this for him. But he was also happy she did. It showed that she truly cared for him and was willing to do anything to bring a genuine smile back to his face. He decided to reward her. He patted her on the head, feeling her soft brown hair as he did so. He then hugged her as best as he could. Blue was surprised all the while, but then brought her arms around him and leaned into his embrace. They stayed like that for a while. Steve broke the hug when he remembered that Blue was still naked upon feeling her skin against his hands and body. Restlessness. Keeping his mind clear. He examined her body in order to figure out what size clothes would fit her. He examined her body. Oh. Blue didn't know this, so she was confused as to why Steve was looking over her like this. His examination complete, Steve got up to walk to his closet. Blue tried to follow him, but because she never walked on 2 legs before, she couldn't keep her balance and fell on her face. Whoops. Steve ran back to see if she was okay. Luckily, she wasn't hurt too badly. You just stay there, okay? I'll be back, Steve said to her. Blue just nodded, and Steve went over to his closet. He was sure he had something from when he was younger that would fit Blue, even if it was a little bit big. Then he thought of something. Blue was a strange name for a human being. He decided to talk to her about calling her something else. He then found out what he was looking for. It was a long-sleeved light blue shirt with dark blue stripes, along with some jeans. Blue's color scheme. Go figure, Steve thought when he saw the shirt. As luck would have it, he also found a bra and a pair of panties, both of which probably belonged to his ex-girlfriend and were left here by accident. Ooh, they did the jiggy roll. In any case, Blue had something to wear underneath her new clothes. However, he'd still have to buy her some clothes of her own. He thought it best to take her with him, so he would have her opinion on what she liked. That's where the name issue comes in, because they'd be going out in a public place, and Steve would rather not get odd looks from people for calling his female companion Blue. He came back to Blue, who was still sitting where he left her. She saw the clothes and was nervous. Steve saw this and smiled. "Don't worry, I'll help." Nudge, nudge, fuck, he said to her. She smiled at that. He helped put the bra and panties on. By the way, Blue, I was thinking of something. Steve said as he helped her. Of what, Steve? Blue asked him. Something of calling you something other than Blue. It's not exactly a human name, Steve answered. Blue said nothing because she knew, but knew he had a point because what would she call herself? Blue figured out the pants and shirt rather quickly. Steve was right when he thought the shirt was going to be big on her. Of course, even after Blue was fully clothed, she was still barefoot. Plus, she still couldn't stand on two legs, not to mention she still didn't have a new name for herself. Before Steve could help her stand, Mailbox zoomed in through the window via his extending arm, wondering where Steve was. "There you are, Steve. Where have you been, buddy?" he asked. Then he saw the girl that was Blue sitting on the next floor. "Steve, you never told us you were having company," Mailbox said. Steve was going to reply, but Blue beat him to it. "I'm Aqua, Steve's new girlfriend. Sorry I kept him for too long and having you worry," she said. "Aqua," Mailbox said. "Nice name for a girl. Like you. Goes with your shirt." He looked to Steve. "See you later, Steve. Have fun with your new girlfriend," he said before zooming out the window. Steve turned to Aqua, confused. "Aqua, where'd that come from?" "I thought of it just now. It's kind of like my old name and sounds more humanish. Don't you think so?" the newly dubbed Aqua replied. Steve thought about the name and had to agree with her. It was a nice name, as Mailbox said it was. The moment over, Steve got up again to look for some shoes and socks for Aqua. Socks wouldn't be hard. Shoes wouldn't be that hard either, as Steve knew he had a pair of sneakers to go with Aqua's shirt. "Wait here, I'll be back," Steve said, looking down at Aqua. She shook her head. "No, I'm coming with you this time. I need to get used to walking," Aqua protested. Seeing that she was right, Steve knelt down and took Aqua's hands and helped her up. She wobbled, of course, but Steve supported her. They walked around the room with Aqua leaning on him. "You know something, Aqua? You're pretty smart," Steve said as they walked. "I am?" Aqua asked. "Yeah, I mean, I knew you were clever for devising every round of Blue's Clues, but coming up with a fitting name like that," Steve said, snapping his fingers. I can't snap my fingers, so you know, I fucking tried too. Got this. No.
How long is this?
Okay, we got it. Okay, it was really clever. Flattered by what he said, Aqua blushed. Thanks, Steve," she said. It was at this point Steve realized how small Aqua was compared to him, even as a human, because of the age difference. Aqua only came up to his shoulders, as the dog Blue, if she stood on her hind legs, she would only barely come up to his waist. After Aqua could more or less walk around, they went to Steve's closet. Steve immediately pulled out a pair of socks and gave it to Aqua, who immediately put the socks on without help. He soon found the shoes, which were also Aqua's color scheme. He decided to help with the sneakers because, clever as she was, Aqua did not know how to tie laces. She managed to tie one shoe before Aqua figured out and tied the other one herself. Aqua smiled at her accomplishment. Steve smiled too, but before Steve could say anything about breakfast, Mailbox popped in again. "Just checking to see if you two were ready," he said. He started to zoom out, but then stopped and came back in. "You know, Steve, come to think of it, not only did Aqua come out of nowhere, but I haven't seen Blue yet. Do you know where she could be?" he asked. Aqua took the opportunity that was presented to her and started playing a little game of Blue's Clues with Mailbox. "I have 3 clues for you, Mailbox," Aqua said, getting his and Steve's attention. "First, I seem to know both you and Steve pretty well, despite having just met you. Second, Blue and I have never been in the same room together. And third, I have blue eyes, I am wearing blue clothes, and my favorite color just happens to be blue." She finished. Steve was astonished by how quickly Aqua came up with those clues. While Mailbox was processing those clues, he thought for a moment, eyes widening. "Alright, I will be right back. You guys have to entertain the live stream while I'm back, okay?" Okay.
Oh,
Chapter 3 begins when I come back.
Oh god, more?
I am streaming
Yeah, he
this.
is. You did enable your audio? Oh god. Yeah, I'm gonna show it to everyone, holy shit. So, dude. Language. Oh my god. Have you seen Blue, my puppy? Oh my god. Hi. Hi. It actually is, though. Oh my god, I have to do this. Yeah. I doubt it'll be on TV then. Oh god. Oh god. This is gonna be bad. Oh god, what am I doing? Does anyone know what this is? He thought it was a moose. And Josh thought it was a mouse. God. I don't know. And Josh thought it was a mouse. Oh my god. And being a water adventures.
Okay.
No, I'm finishing this. Oh my god.
Okay. Episode. Or not episode. What the fuck? Chapter 3. You're not
Oh,
saying
Morgan
that you're
messaged me.
blue. Wait. You're not saying that you're blue, are you? Mailbox asked in surprise. Aqua giggled, baring her teeth.
She's making Fanning. She has to make cookies.
Ding, ding, ding. That's right, you just won the game, she said while clapping. Mailbox was surprised his flag actually went farther down than it should have, and pointed downwards. He was speechless. He was about to ask how and why, but then he remembered what he had called Aqua earlier. Oh no, he muttered. What's wrong, Mailbox? He asked, worried about his friend. I called Blue your girlfriend before, not knowing that she was blue. Mailbox answered, feeling rather awkward. I gotta take a drink of this juice before I can continue because I'm like out of breath from speaking so much.
Okay, I will do this then.
Play it in the
It's a whole
background.
episode, oh my god.
Okay.
Okay,
Oh
fine.
no, he muttered. What's wrong, Mailbox? Oh no, I read that. Blah, 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 blah. Aqua was quick to reassure him.
Wait. Oh my god.
Can I continue yet?
This is the frickin' theme song. Oh, fine. I'll find it then. Shit. Garrett. Hey there, it's me, Steve. Have you seen Blue, my puppy? Oh my god.
Do you want me to continue reading now?
How much more is left? How
It's
much
okay,
is
you didn't
left?
know who I was. Although you're not wrong in
No,
calling
how
me
much
Steve's
is
new
left, or I'll
girlfriend.
keep interrupting.
Also, it's not a lot left. Also, my name is Aqua now, she said. Mailbox was relieved to hear that. Thanks, Aqua. I feel better now, he said as he started to leave again. He came back in, though. Hang on, how did this happen? Why, for what that matter? And also, why did you change your name to Aqua? He asked. Not wanting to explain everything again, Aqua just went with a simpler answer. I wished on a shooting star. It was to cheer Steve up. And because blue sounds weird for a human being, and because it was Steve's idea, she said, answering the questions in order. Mailbox was satisfied because it all made sense. He had seen Steve moping the previous night and should have expected Blue, or Aqua rather, to do something like that in order to cheer Steve up. And as far as Mailbox knew, it was working. He also liked that Steve had thought ahead and asked Aqua to change her name. That's awfully nice of you, Aqua, and Steve. That's awfully nice of you, Aqua. And Steve, let's see. That's some good thinking on your part. See you guys later, Mailbox said as he finally zoomed out without coming back in. Steve turned to Aqua, who looked at him. Then Aqua's stomach growled. She blushed, ready for the dick. I'd say it's just about time we had breakfast, don't you agree? Steve asked. Aqua nodded. Yeah, I do, she replied. Steve went out to his closet and got his regular outfit. Aqua turned away, respecting his privacy. Soon enough, Steve was all dressed, and they both finally walked out of Steve's room, eager to get some breakfast in their bellies. The end. That was it. Alright. So, thanks to anyone who actually watched the stream, and I hope you enjoy it, and is going on YouTube. So, yeah, have a good day. Bye.